Let's stay in KwaZulu-Natal. Ethekwini municipality is sampling and testing water in rivers and beaches. This after thousands of dead fish washed up on the shore this week. Communities have been urged not to collect or eat the dead fish. Our senior reporter Dasen Thathiah joins us now. So Dasen, you know, the images are awful, and this is around the Ethekwini lagoon. Talk to me about what you saw when you went to visit the area today, and what is your understanding of why all these fish are dying?
So before I saw anything, I smelt what was going on there, because as you get close to where the Ethekwini lagoon is, you can pick up that foul smell just as you approach there. But when you get onto the shore, that's when you really start noticing what's gone wrong. But as we walked closer, we saw that the area was covered in like what looked like a green sludge. Lots of fish lying around. And this was quite early, before those cleanup teams really got into action. When we got there, it was probably just before 9 o'clock. There were a few members of the cleanup team from the Ethekwini municipality that were working there, but they quickly brought in others to assist them because of the area being that vast and what they had to work with. So it really was a disgusting sight, seeing all of these fish lying there. You mentioned the warning from the municipality there in your intro, saying that people shouldn't be picking up these fish. That was one of the concerns, one of the things that we noticed, that there were people that had arrived there with the intention to pick some of those up, and the local fishermen told them that they couldn't because it could be poisonous. The area wasn't necessarily closed off as much as the municipality had put out a statement saying that the beach in that particular area was closed, but there were no barricades, no cordons. So this made it easy for members of the public to walk onto the beach directly in that area that was affected.
And that is very worrying indeed, because if people are desperate for food, they might see this as an opportunity for a quick dinner, but it is very dangerous, we've heard. You've had a number of conversations with the local community, and they're telling you some interesting things about this incident and how it might be not a one-off.
Definitely. In fact, the broader community is angered by what's happened, because while we were there, we also met members from the South Durban Community Environmental Alliance, and they say that they've been having these conversations in the past about what could be done to A, fix the pump station, and B, to ensure that the sewage doesn't end up there in the lagoon, because according to them, it's not necessarily a new problem, but it was one that was exacerbated after the April floods. And this is now the effects of it, seeing all of these fish. So they were also there trying to get those answers. It was the fishermen, though, that were quite vocal about what they were going through, because there's a large community of subsistence fishermen that come to that spot, and they're there daily. And when I had an opportunity to speak to them, they were saying that they were concerned because beyond just the cleanup there, they said it was just on the surface, really, cleaning up the dead fish and cleaning up the sludge that you see. Their bigger concern was what happens to the rest of that liquid, or the effluent, or the sewage that was in there. Was it going to end up in the ocean where they fish? And that was their primary concern, because they take that fish home often to provide a meal for their families. So let's listen now to what John Peter had to say. He speaks for the subsistence fishermen that are in that area.
The impact of this is that the contaminated water from here will eventually get into the ocean. And we are currently seeing almost thousands of fish that are lying dead on these banks. With this water, contaminated water flowing into the ocean, the impact of that is that we're going to have almost 1 million different marine living species that's going to be affected. And they will also be dead. And then you find that our poor fisher folks, most of them unemployed, living below the poverty line, they're going to get to the beach but unable to catch food and feed their families.
Yeah, a number of concerns around this issue. Thank you so much for bringing us the latest. That's our senior reporter, Dasen Thathiah.